Well, good Sunday evening, or excuse me, Sunday evening, jeez. Good Saturday evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Don't forget about BetUS. You still have enough time to get your bet on for the Super Bowl. My dad is saying, put all my money on the over. He said, I can't root for Kansas City and I can't root for the Eagles, but I will root for the over. And if you have not started with BetUS, use the promo code YouTube150 so you can get matching deposits on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. And if you do crypto, that's up to 200%. So bet responsibly, use that promo code, and get your bet on today. So I'm going to finally have to deal with some shit that I have not wanted to deal with, and that is dealing with the Super Bowl. I've really just avoided the whole subject for the most part this week, but it is tomorrow. It is the end of the season, and it is the Eagles being in the Super Bowl. And I'm sure Leo will be in here, bloviating and talking all the smack and everything else. But let's get to some of the conversation on the Super Bowl talk. I got David McKee and I got Momo in the house. Momo done gone dark. What did he do? Pull his pants down again?
Gotta have a little humor today.
Oh shit, man! We got. He's the moondest again, man, and it's just gotten dark. Let me say hello to the lovely ladies. What's up, Gina, Dallas, Diva? Holly Pierce. What's going on, Holly? And let's see what other of the ladies are in here. Chris May's in here. Jeff Lee looking for boobies. John Jones in the house. Goonie Goo Goo. What the hell? So, are y'all as depressed about the Super Bowl as I am? Or is it just me? Is it just me?
Honestly, I think that it might be a good game, but it still sucks that our Cowboys are not in it.
Mm-hmm.
Been waiting 30 years for it.
Well, Jerry Jones seems to be completely surprised that we are not in it because he thought just paying Dak Prescott meant that they were automatically going to be in. That all he had to do was sign Dak and CD, and instantly we're going to the Super Bowl. So there's that.
Yeah, and this bargain basement shopping that he keeps doing every off season, he keeps thinking it's going to work, and it hasn't produced much of anything.
Yeah, it's just bad. And I got Momo in the house. Momo was beginning to tell me, we were talking about the NFL honors. And NFL honors, I had to say, was about as dry as it could be. Maybe some people could say, I'm salty because there was nothing for, us Cowboy players.
I'm watching the Hall of Fame ceremony, and I'm thinking, how the hell is Darren Woodson not in?
Eagle fans, of course, took offense because I said, Eric Allen's in and Darren Woodson isn't. And I'm not saying that Eric Allen was not a really good cornerback, because he was. He was one of the best. I'm pointing out it's just like if Darren Woodson, because, they always talk about quarterbacks that they got to have Super Bowl rings. We're talking about a guy who has the most tackles in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, 5 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros, 21 interceptions, 12 forced fumbles, and like 24 sacks, and 3 Super Bowl rings. And you compare that to Eric Allen, who does have
Compare
56.
that to Eric Reed from the Baltimore Ravens. He has almost the same identical numbers.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. So that's true.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
I hate to say it, but I think Philly 500 is right that we no longer get the benefit of the doubt on anything as Cowboys.
Right. It's like they're not looking at the whole picture, and it's like, come on now.
Well, it used to be, the Cowboys drove the needle. But now it seems like, if there's a question, you err on the side of saying no. It's the anti-Cowboys to me. And so, Momo, you were saying that I had not heard this, but that 10 of the votes were changed?
Yes, everybody's talking about it. I know. I know. I was watching other media outlets. I watch these other podcasters, and also the guy who's on ESPN, the ex quarterback that wasn't very good, and he breaks down.
Daniel Lousy?
Yeah, he was a voter.
Yeah, he's one. It's like Sam Acho was one.
Yeah, he admitted on the air he changed his vote. 10 people changed their vote for the MVP, and that's how Josh Allen won. Because Josh Allen won by my understanding, it was a narrow margin.
When did they change their vote?
Yeah, he did.
I'm going to say it's about Josh Allen. I think he's a good quarterback and all, but I'm kind of surprised he won the MVP this year, truthfully.
I know. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how does that happen?
It happens when someone changes their votes.
I thought Josh Allen was better than. I thought he was better than what's his name from Baltimore.
Than Lamar Jackson?
I thought he was better than Lamar. I thought he played better than Lamar.
I didn't see that. Now here's the problem. I don't know. Sometimes
what were they going to do? Give it to Lamar again?
Yeah. Well, quite frankly,
what was Lamar going to be? 3-time MVP and ain't done shit? Please, I would tell them don't vote for me.
It shouldn't have been Lamar last year. It should have actually been Dak. Dak's numbers were far and away better than what Lamar's were last year.
And MVPs are relevant. MVPs are relevant to me.
We just got talking in the conversation, but
yeah, but you know what I mean, though. MVP, just because shoot, go look at all the MVPs of the league. A lot of them didn't even win the Super Bowl that year.
Typically, it's the kiss of death for the team that's in the Super Bowl that when the quarterback's been named MVP, they've lost. But be that as it may, excuse me.
Ask Brett Favre that.
Going back to Darren Woodson, though. Darren Woodson's getting hosed.
First of all, 2 of the folks should have not been in Mark. 2 of the people should not have gotten the Hall of Fame nod. Eric Allen shouldn't have got that nod, and Jared Allen definitely shouldn't have got that nod.
Jared Allen was awful quick. Yeah, that one is another one that you kind of say.
And Sterling Sharp, those guys long overdue. But yeah, Eric Allen over Darren Woodson.
His first availability, he gets in. That's crazy.
Yeah, and Darren Woodson,
he wasn't that good.
Okay. All right, so with the game tomorrow, I've avoided talking about it and everything else this week, although we've had all kinds of shit to deal with the Cowboys, and I'm surprised Leo's not up in here. Who y'all got tomorrow, and why?
In all sincerity, I'm going for Kansas City tomorrow because I want to see a three-peat. It's never happened. It could happen tomorrow.
It happened. The Green Bay Packers three-peated going into the Super Bowl era.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was officially a Super Bowl, you're right.
They won the championship, then won back-to-back Super Bowls. So technically, they did three-peat.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Now here's my thing. I don't want Kansas City to win no games because I'm tired. It's not because they're winning. My thing is that these calls, these phantom calls that the referee, that the commissioner wants to lie about, and everybody wants to lie about, they all getting favorite calls. I don't want them to win. I'd rather Philly win. First of all, and lastly, I have not watched the Super Bowl in over 5 years because the Super Bowl is not for the fans, it's for corporate America. That's who's at those games. The fans get the nosebleed seats. So the Super Bowl is not for the fans to go and watch the game.
Well, this is true. I can hear you that. Okay. What's interesting to me is I don't know how many of you guys have seen Emmett Smith the last couple of days in New Orleans, and he seems to be rather pissed. And I think the realization of that Kansas City could be the first team to three-peat is back in his mind. He's pissed that Jerry Jones pulled the plug on Jimmy Johnson because that could have been the Cowboys with the 3 and or 4-peat that was possible. Anybody else get that same vibe from Emmett? Because Emmett went off. I mean, he's literally gone straight at Jerry's jugular about, the marketing of the Cowboys and not giving a rat's ass about the product on the field.
Troy Aikman talked about that too, like years ago with that interview with Joe Buck, and Joe asked him, "What do you think would have happened if Jimmy stayed?" And Troy Aikman feels like he's not really respected amongst Hall of Fame quarterbacks. He really feels like he's not respected. He feels that if Jimmy stayed, he really feels like they could have won at least 5 with the talent if they would have kept drafting, kept trading, kept signing players. He felt like they were good enough to go on like a 5-year run.
Not just the players, also the staff. They had an incredible staff. This is maybe one of the reasons why I'm hopeful for this year is it seems like we're putting together a really good staff as opposed to, you remember some of the guys like offensive line coach Paul Alexander? Y'all remember him? We brought in from Cincinnati. And his big thing was he had his intelligence tests for the offensive linemen, and that was understanding that if you turn the ketchup bottle on the side, that if you tap it on the 57, the ketchup will come out easy. Or then there was Sanjay Lau, wide receivers coach. One of his big thing was having the wide receivers walking around after practice carrying 8x8 bricks.
You think they're doing that today?
This was only a couple years ago, bro. This was like 2018, 2019. We've had some coaches that have not been the best of coaches. And we've had a lot of coaches that have just been hired because they're familiar with Jerry Jones or, former players and things like that. We got rid of Paul Alexander and we brought back Marco Colombo. And it was like night and day difference on the offensive line again. Same players.
And Mark, and what you say right now is the exact reason why I got zero confidence in this coaching staff, because I got to see it to believe it. I'm not giving any of these guys the benefit of the doubt. You got to show me. You got to show me.
I just can't believe. I can't believe. My thing is about the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Why nobody else wanted to offer him a job as a head coach? He been everywhere, so nobody didn't hire this man. Everywhere he been to, nobody said, "Hey, I want you to be my head coach." But all of a sudden, he's at Dallas, and then they throw this crap out and making everybody believe that, oh yeah, he's gonna be good this year. The staff is gonna be good. Okay, we'll see.
Well, I mean, I worked at like 3 Burger Kings before one of them offered me a manager position.
Okay.
Why did the first 2 not offer me?
Because no offense. You know why? Nobody. They said because they wasn't that desperate. So they just say at the end of the day, they say, okay, he's the last one. We got nobody else here. He worked this place. Let me go and hire him.
Well, it might be that you got better.
Ain't nobody else.
You might have gotten better from the first to the second to the third.
Hell, that's possible. But no, somebody got to be the first to offer him, a head coach position. So
you got an echo. Or somebody.
Well, it was said that he had 2 coaching opportunities out there, but he turned them down.
And you keep believing that. They make up lies as they go. You know that. Y'all know better than that.
But you know what?
I'm just going by what was told to me.
Hang on here. You do realize that there's $800 million worth of dead money out there that's still being spent on coaches that aren't coaching in the NFL, right? Y'all know that, right?
Right.
Which means there's a lot of coaches out there that fail. And a lot of these guys, when they were hired, were the hot coaching coordinates. Coordinators. So don't go through and say that this guy can't succeed, because there's a lot of guys out there that you look at and say, this guy's a bum. When Pete Carroll first came back, they said that he failed in the NFL, with his time before when he was at the Jets. And look what happened. He won a Super Bowl with Seattle. In the same breath, everybody thought Chip Kelly was going to be great when he came to the Eagles. Oh, man, he's great.
Yep.
What?
I never thought that. Same thing when Washington
I'm just
got
saying
Spurrier.
some people did.
When they got Spurrier, everybody thought in Washington, D.C.
The old ball coach, chucking and ducking. Got to get back to Osaka. We're 5-11, not real good. I'm headed back to college.
Yeah. Remember, Spurrier did the same thing, Mark.
Yeah. And so you don't know. People thought Urban Meyer was going to be a great answer, but he sucked ass, right? So when you think about Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, somebody's got me on the background, so it's feeding back. Or is that me? Well, let me double check, make sure that's not me. How do we know that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are going to do great with their jobs? Just because they were, hot coordinators, right? And quite honestly, you got more experience with Brian Schottenheimer. He's had running teams that have been the best running teams in the NFL. So he may end up bringing some stability. Now, maybe, it may end up being that we suck, but his success is going to be predicated on what Jerry and Stephen Jones do with him. Wouldn't y'all agree? If we do what we did last year, we're not gonna win a Super Bowl. We got to get some players.
We do what we did last year, we're gonna be mediocre again.
You'll if you stay healthy, you're gonna win more games than what you did last year, and 3 or 4 more wins get you in the playoffs. That doesn't mean that you got enough to go to a Super Bowl.
We need to bring back the run.
Yeah, well, if we let a few guys go, we need to sign a few guys that are about to leave. Like, we can't. We're about to go into an area where we got too many holes. Like,
we got too many holes right now as it stands, and it could be even worse. We don't have much time here because free agency starts legal tampering on the 10th.
Yeah, the Cowboys got to start making decisions quick and start flipping some switches because it's coming up quick.
Well, you've got Micah Parsons, who is I don't know how everybody feels about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, of course, is all over the place in the Super Bowl right now, but he is trying to be the de facto leader of the team, and he's basically kind of saying this is a good thing to kind of get rid of the old guard, and I think that he's looking at Malik Hooker, D-Law, and Donovan Wilson and saying, I'm kind of glad they're going. We need some new blood in here, and trying to point them into being active in free agency along with getting his deal done. Now, the question will be is, does any of that happen in the next month or so? Or is it just Jerry and Stephen Jones going to do what Jerry and Stephen Jones do?
But I think Michael Parsons making the biggest mistake. Your first contract for negotiating for your, and you're on the rookie scale contract, and you about to get paid. You don't give teams discounts. You get much money as you can on that contract. That's the stupidity on his part because you want to get paid.
Well, yes and no.
Michael Parsons is a different person when it comes to that.
Yes and no, but see, here's the thing that he recognizes, though, Momo. First of all, he's already the president of Bleacher Report. He's already pulling in sponsors like HBO Max and State Farm.
He's making millions of dollars already.
Right, he's already, and he recognizes me staying in Dallas is also going to, whether we win or lose, me staying in Dallas is going to get me paid.
You sure he's staying in Dallas?
He's going to want to stay in Dallas because if he goes to, let's say hypothetically he went to Minnesota, do you think anybody would care about him doing a podcast if he was in Minnesota? Do you honestly think that would happen?
DQ might snatch him up. So don't be surprised.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck with that. It'll only happen if the Cowboys allow it to happen because they don't have to pay him this year. He's on a 5th-year
They can
option.
franchise
And they
tag
can
him
franchise
twice.
him, tag him twice. Right. So you got him for the next 3 years, and whether he likes it
Yeah,
or
he
not.
ain't going nowhere for 3 years, regardless.
So, but he recognizes too. This is the kitty that keeps giving. He's putting it out to everybody. Listen, you want to get your social media up? You come to Dallas. And he is using this, too, to his benefit. That's why he's teasing things like, I'll show up for camp, but I won't necessarily do all the stuff without a contract. Talking now about, I'd give money back, for Myles Garrett to be here as long as I am paid just a little bit more than he is. He's using this stuff, and he recognizes, here's how I'm going to get paid with the controversy in Dallas. He's playing along with Jerry Jones's game.
Right. Here's my thing about him. I personally, I see the deficiencies in his game. He's just a pass rusher. He cannot. If a team run the ball, he ain't gonna stop the run. That's what everybody keeps forgetting. He's not a run stopper. He's a guy when they leading up big, he just could rush the passer.
Okay.
He got a lot of flaws in his game. Instead of having
I hear what you're saying.
The flaw is he's a 3-4 linebacker playing in a defensive end scheme, which is nothing wrong with putting that defensive end.
Here's what I'll say about that, though.
He cannot stop the run.
Here's what I'll say about that is, if I've got a guy who's going to get me a dozen or more sacks every year, then what I do is I'll get some other guys in there to go ahead and take care of the run so I can use him and maximize his ability.
Yeah, the Cowboys need to go get some run stoppers. Go get some one techniques. Go
you're
get
Jesse
some
Holley
linebackers.
here. Micah Parsons is selfish because he doesn't want to be elite at linebacker and defensive end. It's like, bro, you weren't elite at wide receiver, the one position you played. If I got a guy who can rush the passer, good. Now I got 10 other spots in here. Let me find a couple of guys that can be my goon squad to take care of the run stopping. Let me get another defensive end in here who can also put some more pressure on so he gets some one-on-ones who can get some more sacks, right? Let me get 2 interior defensive linemen that can clog up the middle. That's the way we need to be thinking. Instead, we just look at it and say,
"Did they do that since he been there, Mark?
No,
have they got safeties that's doing that, playing linebacker?
Exactly. See, here's the problem. We got one guy who's playing at elite level and doing something elite, and we go ahead and we trash that guy and say he sucks. Man, I can't stand that guy because he's got flaws in his game. But look at all the other guys with all the flaws in their game. They can't rush the passer or stop the run. At least I've got one who can do something elite.
Yes, I grant you that.
That's again, my brother from another mother, Law Nation, he said it perfectly, because what the Cowboys do is we never draft to compliment. We always draft to try and replace guys. And unfortunately, last year we missed a lot on replacing guys. When you lost defensive lineman Hankins, when you lost Dorrance Armstrong, when you lost Dante Fowler, when you ended up losing, Stephon Gilmore.
Yardage.
Okay.
Yardage.
Well, I'm just talking on the defense. You lost those 4 guys right there. And then you had the injuries to Sam Williams. And the guy you drafted, Marshawn Nealon, was injured half the season. You didn't replace anything. You got worse. And now we look at it and say, well, Micah Parsons didn't do enough. How can we expect him to do everything?
They moved him around, Mark. They played him in the middle, and he couldn't tackle.
Yes, because that's not okay.
Because you don't have the
besides Lawrence Taylor
run to be stopped, man.
Besides Lawrence Taylor, how many players can you move around to 8 positions and they can all play elite at them?
Yeah, Mark, I'll end this by saying this. Who was going around telling the world that he's the next Lawrence Taylor? He's better than Lawrence Taylor. Remember that?
Well,
all y'all Cowboy fans kept telling me this.
You know what? I tell you what, though.
I never said he was better.
I just like to know.
I don't know that I ever said that he was better. I pointed out that some of the things he was doing, you could look at it and compare it to some of the things that Lawrence Taylor did. Because
Jerry was saying it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. But hold up. And here comes Leo. But hold up, though. You have a
God.
guy. I don't care what you have to say
All right,
about
Smith
him,
Ripper.
but I want to say this. Check the numbers. Check the list. There are 5 guys that have started out their career having 50 sacks. 5. And only 2 that have had at least double-digit sacks in their career. And that's Reggie White and that's Micah Parsons. So don't tell me that, he just sucks. There's nobody else other than Reggie White that's done that. You can't look and say he's a bum.
I didn't say he was a bum.
Well, you got to say he is doing something that is incredibly elite.
Look, Cowboys need to focus on Micah Parsons is not the problem. Go get one text. Go get sideline to sideline linebackers.
Exactly.
Because I can say that Charles Haley wasn't exactly a great run stopper either. But he had guys like Russell Maryland and Tony Casillas and Chad Henning and things that were on the defensive line that stopped the run. He had great linebackers like Ken Norton Jr. that were back there and what should have been a Hall of Fame safety in Donovan Wilson. So you could go ahead and say, we're going to take Charles Haley and your job is to get upfield and put pressure on the quarterback. That's what I need you to do. We're trying to look at this and say, well, Mike's got to be the run stopper. He's got to put the pressure on it. Oh, and sometimes he's got to be in coverage. You're asking too much for one
Mark,
guy.
only reason I even say that is that because it was so many people were saying this. I'm just going by the words out of the mouth of your owner, his son.
You mean the same guy that said, that Brandon Wheaton throws the prettiest pass that you've ever seen? Is that who you're quoting?
Brandon Wheaton throws a better pass than Troy
Aikman. Yeah, so
Shut
that's the
up,
guy.
Jerry.
Come on, man.
You wanted Johnny Manziel, too.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, and Paxton Lynch and Connor Cook. Okay,
Connor Cook.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He wanted Robert Griffin too. After Robert Griffin scored in that game, he said, "Dog, I wish I had him."
Yeah, that RG3, I just love it. Yeah, okay, so you can throw what Stephen Jones, and I got a lot of grief and stuff from Giant fans when I used to say things about him doing the sacks and the amount of pressures. And again, you find, for me, get some interior defensive linemen to go ahead and fill the bill. Get me some linebackers out there that can fill the bill. If we had Overshown that's healthy and Eric Kendricks, as a little younger, okay, that'd be pretty cool. Or if we had Mario Davis years ago.
Yeah,
but be that
Mario Davis could have anchored our.
Oh my God!
He could have anchored our defense for a long time.
They wanted an injured Leighton Vander Esch.
Can you believe that he did not miss a single game as a New Orleans Saint?
Just amazing.
For 7 years, and every year had over 110 tackles and like 5 sacks.
Wow!
Could you imagine if we had
a linebacker you need?
But we don't have that insight,
Garrett. But Jerry and them, they prefer guys they draft and people who are injured all the time. So go figure.
But Mark, that goes to my point about the league and football players today. If you don't use physical, like I said to this several times on here, if you're not practicing in full pads and hitting contact with each other, and your body ain't used to the contact, and once you get into the real games in the regular season start, there are more injuries in the first 4 to 6 games anywhere else because their body ain't used to the physicality.
Yeah. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think that has led to more injuries and concussions because players don't know how to tackle anymore.
Yeah.
You see so many of them that are just trying to just hit somebody as hard as they can. We used to do the form tackle. I used to hate it because I was, a 215-pound nose tackle, and Doug West was like 310 pounds. And what we had to do was we had to literally grab him around the waist, arch the back, pick him up and carry him 15 yards. Doug had it made when he had to carry me, but I had to carry his fat ass for 15 yards back and forth. But getting your head across the body and using your shoulder and wrapping up and taking a guy down, they don't do that.
Tackle. They do shoulder dives, shoulder stuff.
Yeah.
You got to wrap up.
And, this whole thing of, when you go to training camp, it's like there's nothing that's really live.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
It's all scrimmages.
They don't do drills no more either.
You know, we used to hit the sled. You know, seemingly felt like for hours. We were doing Tennessee drills and live tackling and stuff. I mean, I get it. You're just trying to keep them healthy to get to the games. But you can see the difference in fundamentals just aren't there. So right now, nobody has tackled anybody except the last game they played.
Well,
the next time they tackle somebody will be if they play in a preseason game, will be a preseason game or season opening Sunday. That'll be the first time they actually go full speed.
Like I said, the football today, they ain't tackling. They arm tackling, using their shoulder, using their elbow, their forearm. That's how they tackle because they don't want to get hit. Then now nobody's wearing knee pads no more. They hardly wear thigh pads no more. And the shoulder pads are smaller, thinner, and like that. They got that. They still. The NFL still have Rydell as their primary helmet.
Yep.
There are better helmets out there than Rydell.
Yeah.
What's up, Aisha Robinson? How you doing?
And then they tease Eric Dickerson all the time back in the day.
About all
now they see. Now they see.
Help me, Rhonda. What's going on?
Yeah, you got to train your body in certain ways. I mean, it's like a martial artist who breaks bricks with his feet or his arms. You think they just do it? No, you have to train your hands to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why
it's like you're not going to go like this all day. That's building the calluses up there to do that.
Yeah.
I know I said this before.
But your body has to be, I believe. I think they need to bring back some of these because I see so many weird ass injuries. It's like, dude, how did you get hit and hurt on that play?
Yeah, because their body's not in shape.
Right.
I played defensive end in high school and college, and I know about the technique and all that stuff. What I see, how they doing, everybody's just trying to get a check. To me, that's what they're doing. They say, "Hey, I'm getting paid like that. I don't have to hit them hard. Nah, I'm gonna relax. I ain't gonna rush over to the play and tackle."
Yeah, but this is a new generation. Our generation is a little different. I mean,
because
the coaches could take our asses and throw us out there, and if we didn't do it right, they could sit there until we freaking learn our lesson.
Hang on for 1 second.
Not today.
So I'm assuming that Danny here is an Eagle fan, and Linda is the one that's saying, "Somebody say bye to Danny." Linda's like, "Let me kick his ass out of here," and he's an Eagle fan. Oh my goodness. We've got some of the lesser couth Eagle fans around in here.
Hey Mark, hey Leo, hey Thomas.
How you doing?
Hey, everybody. How everybody doing?
How you doing?
I'm just tired of because I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl. Not because I don't watch the Super Bowl in the last 5 years. I'm not gonna watch this crap of a game. The commercials ain't good. So why do I waste my time watching the Super Bowl? I'm gonna be doing something else productive with my wife. I'm gonna have a nice dinner with my nice steak dinner. I'm fixing with my wife.
Turn it on at halftime though.
I ain't listening to the halftime show. That's bogus too. Because for me, as an ex-high school football player, I mean, you let players sit on their laurels for a long period of time out there, and they gotta wait till the halftime show is over.
Right, I'm with you. And Popeye's biscuits is still, you still got to drink water with the Popeye biscuits. It's crazy. This world is.
Momo, you sound kind of angry there.
It is.
Oh, you should have heard me doing that Arnold crap on Sunday. I was cussing up a storm in the chat and the comments. Wow. Because I was cussing at Snoop every chance he spoke. I was saying something nasty. Get that pothead out of here. He was dry and corny.
Life goes on.
Oh, I know. I was just in my feelings that day.
I'm talking to the chat. I'm sorry. Whoever wins tomorrow, life goes on.
Well, for all of us.
Even if the Eagles win, I'm still gonna wake up Monday morning. Okay,
Amen.
God willing.
Amen.
But
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Man.
Hey,
would I
but-
be a little mad, upset? Yes.
But Derek, though,
But life goes on.
I will say they had those strawberry biscuits with the icing on it. They were a little bit little bit moister
Okay.
than the regular ones.
Okay.
So you might
Because
want,
that popped in my head because the guy who got fired for buttering, he put up a video of him buttering Popeye's biscuits at Popeyes, and then he got fired. But he was pouring extra butter on it. He was like dunking them in butter.
oh shit.
Now,
And the Popeyes TikTok account, official account, said you missed one. So the Popeyes account commented on his thing, and then he got fired a day later.
Oh shit. All right.
Now, the Swifties are coming out. They all pissed off because Taylor Swift went album of the year, and they mad. So, and then they will say Kansas City's gonna blow out. Shut up!
You notice how everybody is just angry these days. This is
I'm
gonna
not
be.
angry.
This is just a year of angry people. You know, it is sad, man. It honestly is sad. Can't we all
Hey,
just
Mark,
get
you
along?
gotta hear this, bro.
This
The
is
world is so retarded these days. This is what I did. I literally bet on Kansas City to win this game,
Uh-huh.
and literally for the coin toss to be heads. But you're gonna love this, Leo. Travis Kelce MVP.
What?
World's a Travis Kelce being the MVP of the Super Bowl.
They think Travis
How does he
Kelce is
do
going to
that?
be the MVP.
Well,
Why
it's
not?
probably odds are
It's a
probably
trendy
really good.
world. We live in a trendy world. They show us everything we want to see. I want to see it.
Saquon Barkley
How
gonna
we
be
gonna
the
do that?
MVP of the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
In a loss?
No, on
No.
a win. I think the Eagles are gonna kick the shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mark.
I think that's
Thank
what's
you.
going to happen
I'm
too.
being honest.
just think
I
that
think the
could be a
Eagles are
smart ass.
going to literally run them over.
I believe that too. 'Cause I think we're gonna go back to remember the '80s and the early '90s when teams was getting blown out in every Super Bowl. That's what we're gonna go back to.
You know, I have to say, have y'all ever done something, you know, and you know you're going to get in trouble for it, and you're just waiting for it to just, you know, you know you've done something, and you know your wife is going to give you holy hell for it. You just don't know when it's coming, right? We've all been in that situation, right? And you're just sitting there, and it's like I'm waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it. And I'm waiting for it, and that's how I feel right now with Leo up here eating some food, because I'm waiting for this eruption of Leo to basically start laughing and cracking at it. And he's just up here. It's like, come on.
Leo's waiting for that second Super Bowl title. That's what
Daniel
he's waiting.
Stan, go Birds.
So right now, I'll be honest with you, Mark. I got a Omaha Steaks box for my birthday on Wednesday.
Okay.
And in it, there was like, you know, like all these different cuts of steaks and all that stuff. And they had like these burgers that's like filet mignon burgers or whatever.
Okay.
And I just made a couple of them. These shits are good as hell, man.
I tell you
know,
what, man.
So that's what I'm chewing on.
I've got down here, if I go from the Red Brick House to Stanton and head south a few miles, there is a butcher there that has grass-fed beef. And he will cut whatever cut. I got one. It's funny because I went there. The guy saw me wearing a Cowboys, sweat jacket on, and he looked and almost had a tear in his eye. He said, "You're a Cowboy fan too?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I've been one since the Ice Bowl." So he's a few years older than me, but he's the butcher, man. And he cut, man, some of the meat that he got. I got a chuck roast from him, man, and did some pulled chuck roast tacos that were just like melt in your mouth.
I bet you the juice off of that naturally grass fed is real good.
Oh man, yeah. It's a little bit leaner because the grain actually gives you more fat and stuff in there, but it's a slightly different taste. But if you
Thanks, Matt.
Butcher that knows what he's doing, man, this stuff's good.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting for you to go off and tell Cowboy fans eat shit and die. I'm just waiting for it.
Well, everything that I
that's
could
Eagles
actually
fans.
say has already been said. Right now, this is the, you know, unlike all of you and everybody else, we have a game to prepare for tomorrow. So I'm in that game preparation. We still got football to play, you know, and so, you know, considering what all we have to deal with, it's just a little bit, you know, I'm alone in this right now. You know what I'm saying?
Leo, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Sure, Momo.
He just hit me upside the head with a smile on his face.
So you know how before the national anthems played, they got about 2-3 songs. Was that God Bless America or all these songs like that? You know, as a fan watching the Super Bowl, which I don't do anymore, when you sit there and wait to anticipation of a game, don't you find that the anticipation is too long with all this singing and all this festivities before the game, before they even kick the ball off? Don't you think it's too long?
I felt that the last time we were here 2 years ago.
But it's on both sides of the field.
What I realized was I didn't give myself a chance to enjoy any of the festivities or.
Why would it's about football, right?
Well, no. What I'm saying is the last 2 weeks, only in the headlines of when it comes to football, all they've talked about is Philadelphia and Kansas City getting ready for the Super Bowl,
and Jerry Jones fucking up.
Yeah, and of course you got your other, like Jerry Jones and the things that is happening, especially with Myles Garrett, and then the talk and all this other stuff. But it's been mostly just about Philadelphia and Kansas City. So I've allowed myself to enjoy. That's what I mean by when I say enjoy those things as well.
Okay.
And so I am, I'm ready to get this on, but because I feel like, and I just wrote this in the chat, that I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to blow out the Chiefs and they're going to win. They're going to win in convincing fashion. After that, what more do I need to say except for just sit back and watch? And I'm relaxed.
I just want to know anybody watching the game tomorrow, just if y'all guys, when anybody watching the game, if y'all guys watch the game, are y'all going to be excited about the game because of the repertoire of bad commercials? If you're watching at the house, bad commercials, movie previews of movies and trailers, and announcers overstating every play. So when it's seeing all celebrities in the stands, who's here, who's not, that's nauseating to watch to me.
If your team ain't in it.
No, my team was in it, I'd be nauseating.
No, if your team was in it, you'd be like me.
No, I wouldn't.
You'd be calm, cool, collected. You'd be you're distracted.
Here's what you have to understand. I've been a veteran of actually being at 17, maybe 18 Super Bowls.
Damn.
It's from the first one was Carolina against New England, and the last one was Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. So every one of them, I was there. And what you have to understand is this is the culmination of the season. This is a celebration, and this is where all the business actually gets done.
Yep.
This is the corporate sponsors that are coming there. This is all of the big wig financiers. This is parties galore. Yep. This is a big money maker that has a game at it.
And plus, you got to realize this. This is an international event.
It is. Right.
It shouldn't be. Play football and be done with it. Okay, let me ask you a question. I just want to ask. I'm being facetious when I say that. Actually, let me ask you that. Do y'all guys believe they should get rid of the stupid Pro Bowl?
Oh, they should move it back to Hawaii.
Thank you.
Yeah,
see, here's 100%. You just hit the nail on the head because the way
back to Hawaii.
Used to be,
I went
to 2.
They got to go back to Hawaii because it helps those people.
Wait a minute, Mark, you went to 2?
I was at Hawaii? 2 in Hawaii.
Mark, all right, let me tell you something. I was just in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And because of what I saw when I was there is why I want the Pro Bowl to go back, because they could fucking use the money.
Yeah,
it's real bad.
But here's the difference of it, though.
I guarantee you're not gonna recognize that stadium. It does not look like it's
probably falling
off,
apart.
I think.
Yeah,
and it's dilapidated.
I think it's closed off, Leo.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's
got fences around it. It's sad, Mark.
And then the homeless population is bad there.
Wait.
Yeah.
Here's what's even sadder. What's sadder is that around it in the greater community, there are schools that are closed,
Mhm.
and majority of the population has left. They call Las Vegas the ninth island. Like there aren't very native
Well,
Hawaiians.
the problem is
gone.
Hawaii is because everything is flown in. It's expensive as shit.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yes.
The difference though before was players looked at it. It's the week after the season's over, which was bigger because everybody's done. So you've got the Super Bowl teams that are going there, and you looked at it, or the players looked at it as I'm going on vacation. So I'm going to go to Hawaii.
They can bring their
take
families,
my wife and kids and all that.
Yeah.
Who wants to go to Jacksonville?
You know,
Rodney Step Away, thank you for the super chat, as well as Daniel Stan. Which Eagles jersey will I be wearing tomorrow? That would be none.
And also,
if they do move it back there, I hope it's a game, because this stuff I see, man, it's just boring. It's competition still.
Well, not that the Pro Bowl was actually a game before, years ago.
Yeah, I know.
I just have
Unless you were
the flag football,
D'Angelo Hall.
But Mark, do you know?
Mark,
you know
my
the NFL?
rationale has everything to do with the people and the local economy, based off of the things that I saw.
Yeah,
I
agree with you.
and I know how you feel about helping your neighbors and everything like that. But Mark, it is a sight to see when you get there, because you'll just be like, "Holy shit, this is going on now!"
Yeah,
I can believe it.
It's honestly really just that bad. It's really bad.
And
out
also, Leo, about Hawaii and about the Pro Bowl. This the NFL is pushing flag football, NFL flag football, to be in the Olympics. To have NFL players to be in the Olympics for flag football. That could be a nightmare for owners, and general managers.
there. Sledhead, your team should have did it better.
Gotta stop
Here you
ruining
go,
the
Sledhead.
game.
Your team should have cheated better.
My
That's
God, man.
Ridiculous.
Where else do they play our kind of football? Canada and where else?
Mexico.
They do in Europe.
I'm just saying,
So how you
NFL,
gonna
can
have
you quit
Olympics?
changing the rules? Can you quit playing games overseas? Can you quit with the bullshit?
Oh, we got one in Australia this year.
I mean, bro, they are literally neutering the NFL, bro. This shit
And
is
taking
ridiculous.
away a home game from fans.
Well, they said that we're playing
Dude,
there
watch
this year.
one of these days. He's like my buddy Eric says. He's like, watch the NFL. Watch when it comes to the playoffs, they're gonna start doing. There ain't gonna be no such thing as home field advantage. They're gonna start playing on neutral sites and shit. Watch.
Well, you're already getting to the point where now it's all on an app, so you got to pay for playoffs.
Listen.
How long
Right
before the
now, the
Super Bowl
talking
will be on it?
market is that they're trying to decide whether or not we're going to go to a dome or not. They're talking that way now.
Oh yeah, I've heard that you guys might be looking to get a new stadium. Because
they saw what they did.
You shared it. What Vanderbilt?
The link.
Yeah.
What it is they took a look at what they were doing in Cleveland, and they liked that.
Okay. Well, if you
With
win
the
the
whole-
Super Bowl,
yeah,
it'll
with the-
definitely be a push.
The Super
The whole
Bowl,
complex
I think
thing.
in 5 to 10 years, it's going to be in another country. Trust me on that.
I can see it.
That's crazy. I
I
don't
can
know
see us
about all
having
that.
teams in Mexico, probably Canada.
I don't
and,
know
hey,
about
why not
all
in
that.
Hawaii?
That's
I
a lot of.
I say UK, somewhere in Europe, somewhere it's going to be out there. That's what I believe.
That's a lot of money you sending overseas if you do that.
True.
It's a lot of money sending overseas.
I mean, damn, they didn't put an NFL team in Hawaii before overseas.
But I don't know that there's a stadium that would be big enough for it elsewhere.
Wembley, the Wembley Stadium.
Wembley's not that big.
It's 50,000.
The NFL likes to have
No,
them.
you gotta have at least 80 or better for a Super Bowl.
They had it in
80 or
Detroit.
better.
Detroit was like 68,000, which was considered small for it. But they like to have bigger ones.
Right. You gotta have 80 or better.
How many seats in Wembley Stadium in England?
We need 8 more teams.
Oh, Wembley does seat 90. That's bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was about 50. But no, they wouldn't do that.
Hey, Leo, I'm gonna ask Leo this question, Mark.
Sure.
Leo, Leo, because I was telling Mark earlier, the guys earlier, that when the Cowboy great Woodson didn't get in, and didn't get in some in the MVP stuff, some people changed their votes. My understanding. Did you hear that?
No, I haven't heard that. It's more so like here, because again, remember, I'm in market, you know what I'm saying? So it's more so to talk about Saquon being offensive player of the year and Eric Allen finally getting in.
He shouldn't have got in this year.
I'm sorry, what year should he have gotten in?
Not this year. Woodson should have been got in because Woodson was a better ball player than he was. You can't. The numbers tells it all. Eric Allen is just a pretty face. He's a pretty boy with some green hazel eyes. That's it.
He was the only NFL player to put Emmett out.
Now, he did play a long time though, and he did have 56 sacks.
Aaron Woodson.
I'm sorry, 56 interceptions.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, when you standing there and the ball floating in the air, and you getting and your front four putting pressure on you, yeah, you get many interceptions as you want.
You know what? Right now, Momo, I get where you are right now. You're in it's a tough place to be. You know.
Well, I'm home. I'm comfortable.
No, yeah, yeah,
You're wearing pants.
We'll think about it,
bro. And not watching us.
And I'm not mooning. I ain't mooning nobody. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, we've moved on from that.
Okay.
Momo Moon's Cafe. You need to start that business.
Coming to a community near you.
Oh wow.
No, let's hope it doesn't come to a community near me.
Exactly.
Keep that shit away
Good
from
call,
me.
Mark. Good call. But I will say, guys, look, I'm super excited. I can't wait to get this going. And I tend to make do on my promise that when we win, I will be insufferable.
But you know what, though, Leo?
Yes, sir.
Leo,
yes, sir.
Had you listened to me in the beginning of the season I told you to get yourself Bet US on, okay?
Yep.
Remember I told you, I said you could have gotten 150% matching on your first 3 deposits, and you could have been betting with house money. What if you had put $1,000 on there and had $1,500 house money, and every week you just let it roll with the Eagles?
Leo ain't doing that.
Do you know how much money you would have right now?
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of
money. So, are you going to finally get your Bet US on yet?
You know what, Mark? At this point, I don't want to do anything that I haven't already done because I might break the. I think I cracked the code.
You cracked the code.
I don't want to. I don't want to do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't want to.
For the rest of you out there, don't forget the promo code YouTube150. So that way you can get your bet on
us. Seriously, and let us know, Leo. How about you just bet? You bet with house money anyway, Leo.
Yes,
it cost me absolutely nothing to place the bets I did, and I did it on purpose because I thought it'd be funny to be a smartass. No pun intended to the Eagles. I know they're going to kick Kansas City's ass. I just did it because I thought, what if it did happen? That'd be hilarious.
I may go ahead at the end, after the game, I might go in and I might just go ahead and put me $50 on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl next year.
Don't waste your money, Mark.
Well, it's actually $50.
You know what, Mark? Actually, it's interesting you say that because I actually just did an interview the other day, and I was telling the hostess that I'm actually because she asked me just on a humble, who are you going for? And I said I'm an Eagles fan. And I told her that I told her she was the first person I've said this to, but I believe that not only are we going to win tomorrow, but we're going to win next year too. I'm so glad I said that to him when he was drinking. I'm so glad I said that. So yes, I am calling the Eagles to repeat. You know what I'm saying? And threaten to three-peat. Yeah.
Listen to this.
On that, yeah.
Oh,
So that might be so when this season is over with, I'll take out my Bet US.
You know what you just did, Leo. Will that still be available
at the end of the Super Bowl?
Leo, you know what you just did. You better hope you win, bro. You better hope you win, because if you don't, I am going to, every time I see you, play that clip right there that you said, not only are you going to win tomorrow, You are
We're gonna
going
win
to
next year.
two-peat, and then you are going to three-peat.
I said threaten to three-peat. Yes.
Close enough.
Yes.
Close enough.
Yes. Yeah. I put myself out there like that, Mark.
Oh, as soon as this broadcast is over, I'm cutting.
You know what,
that up.
Mark? Make a cut. Make a short. Cut it up.
Oh man, I will cut
Edit that up.
I have to wait till the stream's over.
Wait a minute. Do you want me to Do you want me to do it better and just like look directly into the camera and say it like with confidence and everything? I'll do it.
Okay. All right, Leo.
All right.
Go ahead right now, Leo. Do it.
Okay.
Do it, Leo.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
All right. To all the Cowboy Nation and everybody else who's watching, this is Leo Bridgewater, and I'm here to tell you that not only will we win the Super Bowl tomorrow, we are going to repeat and threaten to repeat. I said it. That should get it. Yeah. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh man. All right.
I said it. I said it.
You all heard him.
Said it.
You heard him.
Yup. I said it.
So you're pulling a Joe Namath? You guaranteeing?
Yes.
He is guaranteeing.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Man. You know, that's almost as good as getting the Super Bowl champion tattoo put on.
Yeah, it is almost like that. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So what happens tomorrow by some thing happens where you suffer a defeat?
Momo's just
then at that point, now it becomes an integrity check. If you think about it. Now at that point it becomes an integrity check. Do I
do have a question for you.
Wait.
Monique.
Let me finish thought. So yes, it becomes an integrity check. So at that point, I have to stand in front of y'all and take those lumps. You know what I'm saying? Like eat that crow. Because I did in fact sit here and say all that stuff. So I just as bold as I am to say it, I have to be equally as bold, if not more.
Or else you're a cockroach.
That's right.
I'm just curious about something, Leo. I just want to know, how do you become an Eagles fan? And are you from Philadelphia?
Yeah, I live in Trenton, so I'm in Market. Yeah.
I thought you was in Maryland.
No. My business partner lives in Maryland. I was just over his house, but I actually live in New Jersey. I'm in central New Jersey, so I'm about 25 minutes outside of Philly.
Drive safe. It's going. I know you're supposed to get a lot of snow over there.
Yeah. They're predicting tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, a matter of fact, I think we're supposed to get hammered like for the next couple of days.
Yes, I think it's like a foot of snow or more.
Wait a minute. Halle Pierce called me Yoda Jones.
That's not even like if the Eagles don't three-peat, that's not even. We can't even talk trash about that. What I look like coming on here saying, Leo, they didn't three-peat like you said they was going to. That looks stupid. I look stupid saying that. We can't even go at you for being wrong.
Yeah, because I can't take Leo serious anyway. We can't take Leo serious.
Can't even.
That's why I'm shaking my head.
There, I recognize the what I did. I recognize.
Yeah,
that. It's
all fun.
I mean, it's all fun and games.
Which makes
but at the end of the day, Leo, nobody don't take your prediction serious.
Well, you know what, Momo, that's true. Going all the way back to last offseason, last summer, because I can remember, saying, this particular year, it just felt like it took Cowboys fans a lot longer to come back than in years past. And maybe that loss to Green Bay was the straw that broke the camel's back, because it was the third type of loss that way each time in the first round of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Two by San Fran and one by Green Bay. So I could imagine how Cowboy fans, why it would have taken them a little bit longer. And I get that. And there were things that I was saying because Mark kept saying, you guys lost 6 out of your last 5 or 5 out of your last 6 and what happened. And I kept saying things about, well, I want activity. I want to see things moving. And I remember, guys here telling me, hey, y'all, how's that activity, Leo? What do you think about
Here's
that
the
activity?
thing. Here's the thing. I like to ask you, Leo, since you on your boasting mode right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your head coach, Sirianni.
Yeah, yep,
You think he's a good coach?
If he's gotten us to the Super Bowl.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you, Leo.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's not what I asked you. So
Yes.
he makes bad decisions on top of bad decisions.
He's
y'all just
proven me
happen to
wrong.
have a running back
He's proven me wrong.
that makes y'all look better. He's not a very good head coach. That running back is the key. That's it.
Right.
If
okay.
I didn't get Barkley, y'all wouldn't be in the position y'all in today.
But
you
here's
know
the,
it, and I
Momo,
know
let
it.
me,
And everybody
let me say this
everybody in the chat
let me
knows
say
it.
this to you and everybody else who thinks like you. But we did
That's
get
the
Saquon.
truth.
No,
Fact
listen.
for fact.
No, Momo, listen to me. Listen to what I'm about to say. But we did get Saquon. But we
That's
did.
not what I said.
No. Listen, no. That's my response when you say it's Saquon and you know it. Okay, but we did get him. He is on our team.
Yeah.
And you know what?
He's right.
Everything that whatever it is that you will point out, we did that. Yes, we did. And
What
guess
I'm
what it
saying,
got us?
what I'm saying, Sirianni is not. I don't feel like I know he's not a good head coach. He makes
Why would I get? Momo, you're a Washington Commanders fan. What you think matters when and you're saying this to the guy.
You're looking at this wrong, Leo.
Wait a minute. All right, let me say this to you. You're talking about a coach. You're saying a coach is not good that is playing in the Super Bowl. That he's coaching
Leo,
tomorrow.
you don't get it. You
do
don't
you
understand.
not realize how?
Like,
no. Do you know? Like you're kind of putting me in that kind of position that Derek was just talking about. Do you know how dumb it makes me look to argue with you about that?
I'm not arguing. This is a discussion. What I'm saying to you,
it's not a discussion.
Because let me finish my statement. What I'm saying to you, Sirianni, sometimes listen to me. Sometimes players do things to make their head coach make people think he's good. But he has made blunder after blunder after blunder after blunder throughout the season. So that running back you have that's very good.
Has covered up for some of it.
He makes you look better. Makes Sirianni looks good, but Sirianni is not a very good head coach. I never heard nobody say he was a good head coach. He made a lot of blunders, bad decisions.
Yeah, regardless, they're there or not.
Okay, wait a minute. What is Nick Sirianni's record in the league?
Here we go again.
Since he's been, what's his record been?
Wasn't the head coach last year?
Yes, he's been our head coach for the last 4 years. So, what is his record over the last 4 years?
Wasn't he responsible for that blunder last year?
What are you talking about? What blunder?
Didn't y'all lose a lot of games at the end of the season?
Yes, we lost 6 of our last 5 or 6 of our last 7, something like that.
If memory serves me right, Leo. You said, remember you're talking about an off-season activity, player acquisition, and then you will find out as the season progresses what the problem was. You will know by where you are at the end of the season. And look where you're at the end of the season. You found
exactly.
the problem.
Okay,
exactly.
Here's what I will say on that one.
Go ahead, Mark.
I don't know that you look at him and you think of, say, Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay. I don't think you put him up there with those kinds of coaches. I don't think you put him up there with the Harbaughs. Am I wrong on that?
Hold on. Let me.
If he earns his
way, you got to roll up the fatter one for this one. I'm just saying that when you say he's a great coach, I don't look at him like that, like those guys or Andy Reid.
All right, put it like this: since Nick Sirianni has been the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, okay, which has only been 4 years, we have never missed the playoffs. Okay, he's taken us out of the 4 years that he's been the coach. He's coached us to the Super Bowl 2 out of the 4 years. His record is 48-20, and his quarterback the entire time was Jalen Hurts.
So, is this a case of he's elevated the team to be that, or is it that the team has elevated him?
again,
because I can go ahead and say, well, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, but do I look at it that Joe Flacco was the reason that they won the Super Bowl? Or do I look at it and say that that team was?
Yes.
Well, you know what?
Stacey White, stop hating.
I think that if we were to, you know, like Jalen, like Jalen Hurts says, if we were to keep the main thing, okay, then 2 trips to the Super Bowl, okay, never missing the playoffs, and a 48-20 record. And let me just say this to you: most people don't even realize Jalen Hurts is 15-4 against AFC quarterbacks.
Okay.
15-4.
Again, are we saying that it's because of Nick Sirianni, or are we saying that that's because of the team and the organization?
Well, no. Well, here's the thing: how much turnover has there been within the organization since Nick Sirianni's been the coach?
I'm confused here. I'm confused. I just don't want Leo ain't tell him being honest with himself and saying that players is making this man look better, because we know how the bad decisions he has made on the field in the coaching. He's made since the 4 years he's been there. He has benefited from players, not because the coaching. His coaching ain't good.
Momo, listen, I get what you're saying, but
you want to stand tall with your
let's go with the data.
I'm looking at the players.
I'm looking at the data. Over a 4-year period.
Data is overshadows. Data ain't always the truth behind it, Leo.
Nick Sirianni is 48-20 and has gone to the playoffs every year.
Who they play? Who the games they play?
Jalen Hurts is 15-4 against AFC quarterbacks over a 4-year period.
There's bad quarterbacks
with those kind of
Leo.
numbers and 2 trips to the Super Bowl. To say that he's not a good quarterback or to say that he's not a good coach, that's insane. You gotta respect that.
Well, he's a good quarterback, but I mean, let's face it, their passing offense this year was down near the bottom of the league.
Thank you, Brian.
But that's because, again, when you got a running back who's running for over 2,000 yards, of course, come on, let's tell the whole
running back and a quarterback.
Could be 31st in the league. Their passing offense is 31st in the league, and
when you got a running back that runs for the kind of,
I'm just letting you know that's why he wasn't at the NFL honors, because his stats, Jalen Hurts, aren't that of the elite statistical quarterbacks. Who cares if you win a Super Bowl?
Well, but I was going to say, look. I said I preferenced everything. I preferenced everything with, if we're going to do like what my quarterback says, keep the main thing, then the main thing is it's about winning. How you won? I really don't care.
That's what it should be.
I really don't care. I mean, I heard a Hall of Famer tight end. I heard a Hall of Famer tight end named Shannon Sharp say, when we had TD and he was running for them 2,000 yards, if you can stop TD, then we'll throw the ball. If you can't stop, TD,
well, just like the whole narrative with Dallas, like we hear that Troy Aikman was overrated. He's not a good statistical quarterback because they had that great offensive line. Emmitt Smith was a good runner, but he wasn't a great runner. Why? Because we had that great offensive line. Yeah. How many Hall of Famers are on that offensive line?
One. Larry Allen.
We have one Hall of Famer on the offensive line. Yet everybody around them, and this goes to your point, Leo, that who cares about what people think? Just go win you a Super Bowl. That's all I'm trying to say.
Brian coming in hot.
And this day and age, you need a mobile quarterback. That's just where the game is at, where we sit. Mm-hmm. And the reason why Eagles are successful mainly is because they went out. This offensive line is no revelation. They've had a good offensive line, a great offensive line for at least 3 years that I can remember. Yep. So, this is no revelation. They went out and doubled down and went and got themselves the best running back in the league, bar none, who should have won the MVP, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. What he's done for the Philadelphia Eagles, you could see.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't want to hear anything else. He should have been the MVP, and that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. Saquon Barkley. Josh Allen, what did he ultimately do? He choked his ass up He choked against Patrick Mahomes. What did Lamar Jackson, Mr. Statbuster? Everybody loves Lamar. What happened with Lamar Jackson? So
regular season award.
Love Jalen. Yeah, well, that's where I have a problem, because maybe it shouldn't be just a regular season award. Maybe wait and see and give a little more weight. Maybe Jalen Hurts should have been in the conversation, because shit, Barkley's 29 yards away from setting the playoff record for rushing yards.
Yeah, I know. Well, that, and then from all time.
Anyway, I came in here hot.
From
I'm
scrimmage.
sorry, everybody.
No, you came like you basically just.
I was working, so
you put an exclamation point to my answer.
And I wasn't. Everybody wants to get negative when I say, well, lower passing.
I'm sorry. I'm not putting him in the MVP category with 2,900 yards.
Who? No, no. I'm not.
Okay.
No,
And 18 TDs.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But like we talked about it before the season. We talked about it before the season.
Mm-hmm.
We said, where's Kellen going to go, Mark? Is he going to go and try and stuff? And people get offended by this. I don't understand why. Is like Kellen going to stuff a Dak offense down
Jalen Hurts? Yeah. And that's what we thought would happen.
Well, yeah. I was like, if they were smart, they would do what they would do. And my God, look what they did. My God. So, hey
Brian, I was saying that I feel like Sirianni is not a very good head coach. He makes mistake after mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
And
coaches do that, though.
Momo, I have my problems with Sirianni, but I can't argue with the guy's record. So at this point,
I know, but just hear me out real quick.
Yeah.
Just hear me out real quick about Sirianni and the records and these wins. There are a lot of bad teams in the NFL. A lot of bad quarterbacks. Most of the quarterbacks in the leagues are average and below average. So when you put that stat line, those stats don't mean nothing to me, because when you have bad teams and bad quarterbacks, of course you're going to win.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. I'm not here, Momo. This is what I'll say, and then I'll step aside. I would say I'm a Cowboy fan, but again, now's not the time to crap on anything that the Eagles are doing. It really does. I'm embarrassed to say anything negative about. Now, Momo, what I will tell you is that if the Eagles don't win the game tomorrow, which I'm on record as saying I believe they win by 10. Well, I can't say that, but I believe they're going to win the game. If they do not win the game with a number one defense, Momo, with a number one record-setting running game, if they don't win it this year,
they never
under Jalen, they may never win it. And you can say, "Oh, well, how can you say that?"
No, I actually agree with that.
And
I'm not saying anything
on top of it, even worse, I will literally play the clip of Leo talking about them.
Hey, Tom, you missed it.
Yeah, sorry, I was working.
He literally said, "Not only will we win tomorrow, we will repeat next year." And
threaten the three-peat. I said all that. I talked some big shit game time.
He talked seriously big balls.
Game time, I'm out there like that now. And
as long as you're not Lord Brunson out there, man. I had to talk to my guy. I had to talk to.
This will be if the Eagles lose tomorrow. This will be Leo.
What?
I don't think he'll be phased.
No,
I can't hear it.
Hey, I'm on record
we can't
with
hear
all
it,
my friends.
Yeah, Mark, we couldn't hear anything.
You couldn't hear the chicken?
No,
Yeah. Well, we should be able to hear
How
it.
can you not hear the chicken if you can hear me?
There we go.
Okay, we can hear it now.
It wasn't close.
Gotta get closer to
I can't hear it.
Leo, I'm on record with all my friends, all my Washington friends,
All
all
my
my
Rowdy
Cowboy
friends.
friends, and all my Kansas City friends. I'm on record that this game,
That's all of 6
Hey,
people.
shit, how are you?
Philadelphia Eagles is going to beat them by 15 points or more. I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
But
talk about make it feel confident.
the debate on, is a coach who's in the championship game
I feel
a
you,
good
Philly
coach? That could be debatable with every coach that ever makes it to the championship in any sport. Because he
in
has a whole
football,
bunch of great
Ron
players with him.
Oliver.
Well, in football, I
Since you
think you
email-
have to have.
oh,
in
shit.
football, majority of the time, you got to have a great coach and great design. I just feel like that. Tom Landry. Let's go back. Tom Landry was a great coach. He's one of the greatest coaches in the history of the game.
But if Tom Landry didn't have the players that he had, could you still say that?
They always drafted good. They always got free agents.
I know, but I'm saying, could you still say could he have made mediocre players great?
Yes, he has. He coached them up. He coached them up. You came to Dallas when Tom Landry was there. I was a Washington Redskins fan. That feared him because he coached those players up. He coached them up. They was not as good when they came to Wisconsin, and he coached them up and made them better. Randy White came from Maryland University, master. He coached them up. He made him better for what he was.
Yeah. And Emmitt Smith pointed that out, the difference of the Cowboys when they fired their offensive coordinator and brought in Norv Turner, that made all the difference in the world. Coaching does matter. You can have great players, but coaching does matter. And I will say this much about Nick Sirianni, because Sean Sims, Smith's not the answer, Mark. We got Carter Davis, fly Eagles fly. Where is the chicken? Shout out to the Eagle fans that are paying to troll me. Emmitt Smith pointed that out, that was the difference of we had great players, but you still needed somebody who was able to put them all together. Now, Nick Sirianni looked like he was about to crash and burn at the beginning of the season, and it was basically Nick Sirianni was with the big balls and basically doing shit the way he's going to do shit. But he seems like you don't hear so much of Nick Sirianni. Whatever it is he's doing seems to be working with the team. So, maybe he is one of those less vocal coaches out there. We don't know what he does with the team, but, they're in the Super Bowl. So I have to give Leo props that they're there 2 times in the last 3 years. We ain't been in there 30.
Mark, I'm hearing myself. I don't know if it's who it's from, but Mark, did you happen to listen to the Emmitt Smith on Radio Row?
He was on a couple of different ones, but basically the same.
Are you talking about the one where he snapped?
Look at the one on 105.3 The Fan. They have it up. I
had it this morning on my morning video.
That's awesome. What he said, exactly what he said is right. And I was talking to Drew, and he's right, and I agree. We have no business drafting Genty at 12, people. We have no business. As much as I like Genty, he's a smaller guy. There are doubts about his wear and tear in the NFL behind a average, let's be nice and say average offensive line. Dallas has the potential to be studly, but we need to we don't know their identity of what they want to do going into next year.
See,
what kind of team? Once we find that out, then we.
But okay, we don't know that, but we don't know what Brian Schottenheimer's trying to do. If you look from the outside,
that's what I said. Once we find out,
but
we'll
if you
know
look
it better.
from the outside going in, when you see the type of coaches and what they're saying, they're trying to get balance and get this offensive line together. That's what I would say. And knowing that Brian Schottenheimer has been an offensive coordinator that has led the league in running the football, he's going to fall back on what he knows. And I think that you're going to see a team that's going to run the ball more or want to. And you have to look at it from the standpoint, hold up, where are you going? I'm almost done.
He's leaving his ass.
Okay.
It's movie night.
You got to go over? Okay. I'll take that down. I'll take care of it. Just leave it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys.
My bride just walked in too, Mark.
No, she's got to go over and take care of her dad. So,
are you going to be around later tonight, Mark?
Yeah, I'll be here.
I didn't know if you want to join me. I'm flying solo tonight. Phil, something came up, so I'm just doing my live stream.
Hey, Brian. And Brian.
Yes, sir.
I forgot. I meant to join your. Subscribe to you. I'll do it today.
I just put up another tier for Momo. There's 2 tiers, so just be careful. I put up a lesser tier, so because I have a lot of people who don't want to be a part of the Zoom call, So that's like $2.99. So if you have other perks, but you could do the $4.99 where it's.
It doesn't matter. The money ain't the issue with me.
Oh, all right. Well, then just
Damn.
just make sure you do the upper tier, Momo, just because.
Have you ever heard of a channel?
Yeah,
you
Derek,
I got a couple of channels there, Momo.
Actually, I'm trying. I'm
you call me
looking
Daddy
into
Warbucks. The fuck?
Actually, I'm trying to do a YouTube channel on sports. So I have no. I'm debating. I got people talking to different people and different podcasters that I'm very familiar with.
That's cool.
I got the perfect name for it.
Oh shit! No shit.
Ass Out Sports.
Why would you say that, Mark?
You remember when his pants fell down?
Oh, shit. See, I haven't been on these in a while.
Oh no, you don't know?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He got up from his seat, turned around, and his pants
world, bro.
Holy shit, that's funny.
Yes, on the show, he stood up.
Oh shit! And I can see. You know what, Bobo? I'll give you that too because
talk about
that would
being
be the
assed
great
out, for
intro. Ass Out Sports.
Maybe use that as your intro.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Use that as the intro. Ass Out Sports.
Just think of the merch.
Yeah, what y'all trying to say? I said the merch butt plugs gonna come to me and say, "Hey, you want a butt plug?"
Butt plugs, lotion.
That's a totally different type of channel.
KY jelly.
Momo's Moon. Yeah, Momo's Moon.
White. And my
That's
wife got
different.
on me about it because she said, you know better than having yourself.
She
ass
said,
out.
"That's all my ass."
Oh god, she said assed out too.
Yes, she did.
Listen, look at Mark Combs. Look how popular Mark is, and he gets more views when he's walking around with carpenter crack. So he's been over trying to fix a pipe, ass hanging out. That's
You
that
want to
brings
make it
the
on
women,
YouTube?
you know
Got to
what I'm
put some ass out there.
Oh shit.
Oh man, damn game time. Yeah, man, you missed a lot, bro.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, now that the season's over, maybe I'll go back to the Sundays. But
Yeah. So I like to say free agency. My Washington team. There's rumors that they trying Jaden. Oh, before I say that, Brian, did you watch the NFL Honors? Because I know it was bad.
Yeah, well, I was watching. I ended up watching it on my phone because I didn't have any my power was going in and out. So
Right.
I was trying to watch it, but yeah.
That's right. Your electricity went out in
Yeah.
California.
Hey, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mark, I just want to ask you something.
Okay.
Do you think Jerry Jones is still the most hated GM after what happened with that Lucas trade?
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's the Mark, but yes.
Yes, he is. Trust me.
So-
we got 30 years of hatred built up for him.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Oh,
Yeah. So I thought the Honors was the most boring show. So I really feel that the NFL, because it was so bad, they should go back and just stop doing this honors stuff and just announce who win at a certain time. We don't need to do it a couple of days before the Super Bowl. We
I don't know
really
about you, but I'm kind of over Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't. He's
Yeah.
just okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay. Defensive player, I didn't think Sultan was deserving of that. Everybody's saying that he's the lockdown corner. I don't believe he
Hey,
is.
listen, that's who we were taking. We were taking Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn if he was there, not Micah Parsons. We locked in the Micah. So,
Okay,
That's-
so game time. So
Yes.
if you're going by Emmett Smith's philosophy here, then what's your pick in the draft? Trading back
Oh,
and
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get multiple picks?
yeah,
yes,
that's a good
exactly,
question. Yeah.
exactly.
Trade back.
Exactly. And again, I'm going to give, and I know this pisses off people, but
Certainly.
Dallas fans need to have a thicker skin these days. We have to own up the fact that we haven't done shit. Okay? So, not that we can't, not that we're not, not that we're not talented in spots, but you see the upper echelon teams, you need to be more talented in more spots. That's just the bottom line. and Jerry and Steven, maybe they'll do it this year. They're acting a little different, but I mean, yeah, the best player available is always good. But Mark, if they don't address what we need in free agency, they can't fill all the holes with the amount of draft picks they have. They can't physically do it. I've done mock draft after mock draft after mock draft. They need to get 3 free agents or a trade and 2 free agents and bring back
Only
at
way they
least
gonna
2
do
of their
that.
guys. That's 5. Just
The
to
only way
draft.
they gonna do
Game
that.
time. Do y'all got money like that though?
Well, we can. That's the thing. That's where Mark. I know Mark. Like we were talking about it last week. It's very alarming because you saw what Howie Roseman did in the draft last year. He actually beat Jimmy Johnson's trade record by going up, going down, going up, actually attacking the draft. We used to do that. And don't get me wrong, we draft well, but when you put yourself into a need position, like we are the last couple years, you make picks like Mozzie Smith. Okay? Sorry, Mrs. Smith, but that's what happens when you force picks. You force Mozzie Smith, you force a Luke Schoonmaker, right? That should have never have happened, in my opinion. But again,
Our
we
second
need
round,
to.
but see, our whole philosophy of second round picks is flawed. They always feel like we've got our guy, you know.
So let's roll the dice for upside or something, right?
Let's find somebody that has first round talent, but they're in the second round for whatever
I would trade
reason.
down right now. That was the question you asked. As of right now, I would trade down into the early 20s at the furthest and get yourself a couple more picks and a go from there. But
Requirement
if
of
not,
draft capital over and are you saying just this year or are you would you be
no.
good
Again,
if it-
we're not that
if it-
far away. I know other people will disagree. You have Dak Prescott. Everybody can say whatever they want, assuming he's near where he's been physically, which is a big assumption. He wins regular season games, people. All you Dak haters, he wins regular season games. Because you have to play well against your division, 13-4. And then you could go outside division and choke in the playoffs. That's the narrative. I'm not saying it, but and then we'll see. But again, this season, Mark and everybody in the chat, it's literally going to start the day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. I love Micah Parsons, what he's doing. Doesn't everybody else? He's putting the fire on them.
Yeah, he's putting them on blast. I mean, here's the thing that
he wants that. He wants that contract signed.
He wants to go ahead and save his guys, and he wants to go ahead and upgrade the roster. And so at this point, he's literally saying, I don't want to hold out. I'll take less money. So now you're just a fucking asshole if you don't try and work on something before training
Exactly.
camp.
That's why I said,
He's
Mark,
put it
we're
on
going to know
blast.
right away. We're going to know right away because Mike is doing the right thing. This is what we've been crying for Dak to do. And I hope Dak changes and is a little more vocal. I know he don't have a podcast, but he's the quarterback of the Cowboys making the most money in the NFL.
Podcast playing in the NFL. I don't care what anybody's saying. I don't like it.
I know. I don't like it either, but he could be out in the streets running and gunning too. He could be getting into trouble.
Leo.
Yes, sir.
Leo, I didn't know this that Brandon Graham is going to play in the Super Bowl.
And it's also going to be his last game too.
Yeah, he's been activated, so shout out to him, man.
Yeah, they did it earlier today. Yeah.
Yeah, he was activated this morning.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm again, I think that here's the other thing too, Game Time. When you look at this core group of guys, and I'm talking in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? You've got a core group of guys who are still in their rookie contracts, or just signed their second contract. So you're going to have to deal with this core group of guys for at least the next 3 to 4 years.
And this is what you tell my Eagle fans, okay? It's, and they don't want to hear it because everything's all sunshine and rainbows. It just seemed like just yesterday that Trayvon Diggs was, having what? I don't know, Mark, how many he pick sixes was he having? And there was no sign of injury. Shit changes quick. I'm not wishing nothing on anybody. Just please, I'm not. I'm just saying, as good as you think it is, Washington Commanders have $90 million in cap space. They're only going to get better. If we do what we're going to do, we're going to be able to compete. I'm not saying we're beating the Eagles. I'm saying we're going to be able to compete. And that's all you can do is compete. Compete. The Giants are a train wreck. Okay, they went and won a game, right? And now you see Tennessee Titans out there today saying the number 1 pick is up for grabs. Okay, now the Giants are going to have to give up multiple ones, all because of one victory. What a I'm sorry. What a dumb thing to do. That's it, and that's on the GM. But I think we're, again, us Dallas Cowboy fans, it's going to be interesting because we're going to know right away what they're going to do for next year. Yeah, we're going to know right away.
Yeah, which is why we always say Donka Shing.
Yeah.
Donka Shing.
So I'll make sure, Cassie Brian, would you ever have the Los Angeles Rams Cup for a trade? Because he's still on the contract, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say no.
That's a step backwards for the Cowboys.
I would say no at this point.
Because his injuries.
I would say no, but
his age.
I would say no, but if he's released, I'm going after that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's not going to be released. He's still on the contract.
Listen, everybody needs to everybody needs to get young. One of the things that we're starting to benefit from.
They said they don't find a trade partner. He may be released.
Well, see, here's the thing. We're game time. We're not. We're. I believe we're a year short of having. We're a year delayed of benefiting from all those Georgia picks. Like that's
I hear what you're
starting.
saying.
From a young,
shit
from a
changes
young
quick in the NFL, bro.
Yes, and I was saying this.
Ask San Francisco that.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask San Francisco.
Last year, this time, San Francisco was the talk of the NFL, and they went ahead and lost the Super Bowl. Now, listen, can we agree that the record has shown us, and that who am I hearing? I'm hearing feedback.
Me too.
And it was probably Thomas.
I think it's Thomas. Yeah.
No, it's not me.
It ain't you.
You always phone the bank at me whenever you get feedback.
Thomas. No, I don't
Everybody
know.
can call me like that, man.
I'm playing with you.
I know.
One day without carbs and you're already freaking out. Oh shit! No, he was telling me that he's going on a carb. He has to
good for you, Thomas. Good for you, dog.
Anyway, injuries happen, right, Mark? I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Tell us about it.
That's why I was telling everybody, Eagles fans, win it this year 2 months ago. I said, guys, stop looking at next year because it always looks good, right? It always looks good. But the loser of this Super Bowl, I'll tell you right now, if it's the Kansas City Chiefs, they will not be in this game next year. And that is what the record has shown. So that also means the same thing for the Eagles. That's just how it works. Don't ask me why. Eagles are talented. Eagles are young. If you lose the Super Bowl, odds tell you, unless you're Tom Brady, that you're not going to go back next year. So I would say, please don't lose if you're Eagles.
Or unless you're Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, but is that something good to be looking back on?
No.
If they lose this one, meaning the Eagles, that's 2. Mahomes ain't going nowhere. You need to beat them this year to end the narrative because the weight just gets heavier and heavier and heavier, So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I love the idea of always being being a serious threat to make that make that run. And when you think about these draft picks,
who's going to be your offensive coordinator next year?
That's what you know what.
Well, because I keep hearing, Dallas has got a new offensive coordinator. Kellen's gone.
Yeah, he's going to New Orleans.
And Sirianni's already on record saying he don't want to do it. He wants nothing to do with
It's going to be somebody from inside. It's going to be an inside hire.
Well, I thought maybe Doug Nussmeier. I thought maybe Doug Nussmeier, but I don't know that they'll elevate him, and his family's still in Texas, so he may want to go back to New Orleans. But I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll still be somebody it'll be somebody that's within the organization, and I'm okay with that because at this point I've gone on record saying I would really like to see Jalen in the same system 2 years in a row at least one more time. I mean, come on.
Wait a minute, hold it. Was he actually in a system this year? We hardly saw his ass.
You know what? It was whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's what it was.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't throw the ball much. He was inconsistent with his throws this year.
2,900 yards, bro. Come on, man.
Dude, like you again.
Brian,
When you have a running back like Saquon Barkley doing the things that he was doing, of course the passing yards are not going to be there. Like everybody, our run game is prolific, like a lot of other teams' passing games.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But
like
Leo,
when you look at our red zone numbers, our red zone offensive numbers, they're horrible. And the reason why
Somebody
they're horrible
tired.
is because they're never in the red zone.
Tired of
Saquon runs
listening
right through that shit.
to Leo
his only thing I would say to you, Mark, about that. I mean, not Mark, but Leo about that is that he did not. Barkley did not run the ball 50 times a game. Hurts threw the ball. He threw the ball. He threw the ball about at least 20 or 25 times a game, and he still was bad with those times he threw the ball. That's all I'm saying.
No, Momo, no. Take a look at his numbers. You're not looking at his numbers.
How many times he threw the ball?
If Jalen threw for more than 25 times a game, we were horrible. That was bad.
That's good
He threw the ball
coaching
more
now.
than 15 times a game.
Yes. Now, if we get
And what's the percentage of those throws that he made that was catchable?
I don't know. I thought he had a listen.
he had a really good. Yeah, I was going to say.
I
don't
think
think
that he
It
was
was a
effective. man.
68.7% completion percentage.
He had a what?
68.7 completion percentage. 2,903 yards, 8-yard average.
How many rushing touchdowns?
Let's get down here to rushing.
9, something like that.
Let's see, rushing TDs.
How many times he threw to the running back? Those percentage is real.
His rating was a 103. And rushing.
Again, listen. I don't know
wanna
why
say-
we're talking about. Go ahead.
I just want to say I love this place. I love it here. It's it's entertainment in this show every week. If y'all don't come back next week, y'all gonna miss something. But okay, go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah, no, you right.
14?
You right. You right.
I just
14
don't understand. Again, who cares at this point? They're in the Super Bowl for crying out loud.
Can I explain to you why I care?
Yeah. Well, no, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying. I
understand.
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
hate the Eagles.
We all hate
like
the Eagles.
No, hold on. I'll take that back. I just hate Eagles fans.
I hear you.
I'm the same way.
I hate the asshole Eagle fans. Okay, now I'm not holding more assholes.
I'm going on record saying that Commander fans are in danger of doing the same thing
I'm not
to Jaden Daniels that Cowboy fans have done to Dak
Not me.
Prescott.
Not me.
Which is Cowboy fans and Commander fans make me hate Dak Prescott and Jaden Daniels. I think Dak Prescott's a really good quarterback.
Are the Cowboys fans that bad anymore, though?
It's been over the years.
Over the years. I would agree with that.
This particular
Especially
year,
Cowboy
Commander
fans around here.
Yeah, this particular year, Commander fans have been extra saucy because Jaden Daniels gives them a reason.
I
They
will
got 30
say
years
this.
or 35 years of pent up frustration.
Yeah,
Mark
exactly.
is-
And he's a really good quarterback.
Mark's in the
problem
belly of the
is the
beast.
fan base fucks it up for him.
It ain't much.
Mark's in the belly of the beast, but they got it. They went from being ridiculous real quick. But like Mark said, I can't be upset at them. Let them enjoy it. But man, they get indignant real quick.
quick,
It's like, hold up, man.
Icy.
You guys are just on the scene. You got a coach who hasn't proved to be able to get it done. He choked in the Super Bowl. Sorry. And this is where I always tell people, me and Drew
But I can't blame him. You got to blame the offensive coordinator on that one because he was calling the plays on that. On those, he didn't run the ball.
Now you're sticking up for the Super Bowl for the
Again, Dan
Atlanta
Quinn is the
Falcons.
same guy who had a game plan against the Packers. So I'm sorry,
He was
we're
ready
Cowboys.
to go. He was tired of Jerry. He was ready
Well,
to go.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but again, you have a job to do, and you couldn't stop them. You played a zone defense. I don't even want to look back, but Dan Quinn is a good coach, but I don't know that he's a great coach, Derek. I don't know. Your opinion?
I don't.
Yeah.
Because that year against the
Oh, shout out to Dick Duran. He passed away. Oof.
against the Packers, that whole year,
74.
man-to-man defense was our best defense, and he switched it. To
I know.
But they couldn't play man. I feel like they couldn't play man. I thought Bland and Diggs was getting those interceptions that Bland had. I thought it was to me it was a little fluky because the teams they play. Remember,
I just know one thing, that I know that Nick Sirianni is a better coach than Dan Quinn. Tomorrow proves it. I'm just saying, you had
I'm
that.
not
You
gonna
asked that
argue
question.
his record.
Right,
Nick
Derek?
Sirianni's record
Remember
is
that?
ridiculous.
Remember that, Derek? Remember that question he asked me earlier? Remember that? You know what I'm saying? Remember that he told me when he was talking.
just because you win
Remember
a
all
Super
that
Bowl-
shit he said about Nick Sirianni?
Hold on,
Remember
Leo.
all that
I like to respond to that. I would love to respond to that. Okay. Peyton Manning was up for being a Hall of Fame. He's not a Hall of Famer, but people want to put him up there as a Hall of Famer.
Talking
He's
about
never going to be a Hall of
You
Famer
talking
in my eyes.
You talking about
because
Eli or
because
Peyton? Wait a minute. Are you talking about Eli or Peyton?
Eli is not a Hall of Famer. So that doesn't make, because you beat Tom Brady and you had that stout defense and you looked up and won those 2 games with Tom Brady when in the first. I don't believe he's a Hall of Famer. I just don't believe Sirianni is better than Dan Quinn. They both side by side with me. If you win the Super Bowl, that doesn't mean that you better than the next person. Triff Diffel got won the Super Bowl. What the hell?
Well, Nick Sirianni's been to the Super Bowl as a head coach more times than Dan Quinn.
Okay, that's fine. Trent Diffel won a Super Bowl too. He was a quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, but Nick Sirianni.
That don't mean he's a Hall of Famer. That he's a great quarterback.
Yeah, Dan Quinn also had a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator with Seattle, right? And on top of that,
I said as a head coach,
the biggest blow of a lead in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
But
that's not on.
That's your
him.
coach. That's your coach. That guy's your coach.
Well,
that guy is your coach.
I'm happy to have him. I'm happy to have him. You on this high pedal right now?
Of course. My team is playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Don't lose.
My team is playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow. I'm supposed
Don't lose tomorrow. I swear to God, if you lose, Leo, you better show your face.
That's the one thing you won't have to worry about me. I will be here. I will make it a point to be here. I always show up.
That pipe you got, you keep on through. I don't want to see it. I don't see nothing, Philadelphia, nothing. Throw it all away, because if you lose them all that big shit you've been talking today, don't come in here. Don't come around me, because I'm gonna let you have it.
Damn.
Wow. Mark, I'm on the clock. You got me feeling like I'm. See what I'm? Games.
But I'm gonna tell
when
you,
I say
you put your balls in the rack there. You put your balls in the rack.
I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying?
This is what? This is the Kansas City's 4th Super Bowl in 5 years, right?
Yep.
And so they've only played 2 opponents in the Super Bowl.
Us and
49ers
and New England and no.
I tell you what, though.
Didn't they play New England?
Huh?
No, Tampa Bay. They lost to Tampa. No.
I tell you what, though. You do not want to lose this game and be 1-4 in the Super Bowl.
That's true. But that's still better than 0-4 like Buffalo.
Is it?
Really?
Is it?
That's
No, we got one.
Are we talking
Buffalo
about
ain't
the
got
Eagles or
the Eagles?
Like, what are we talking
if
about?
they lose tomorrow, they'd be 1-4.
Is it better to have Buffalo's record when it comes to
or
Super
Minnesota's?
Bowls?
Minnesota's also 0-4.
I would rather be the Eagles.
Thank you.
But I will say this. That Eagle team was a different head coach. That Eagle team was a different quarterback. So I would say this. For Jalen's sake, he needs to win the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yes.
Because everybody's talking about, listen, everybody. They're in the brink. They're a day away. This time tomorrow, they're in the game of a Super Bowl, and we're still talking about Jalen Hurts, whether he's good or not. He's good, but is he great? Now, we've seen him play great in the Super Bowl, okay, and lose. At the end of the day, and this is what I wanted to say before I get out of here because I got to go. Yep. I told Drew, at the end of the day, you need to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, but there's a high standard for Dallas. People laugh at that. High standard, you guys suck. I'm just telling you, my first experience, Leo, was losing. I don't remember. I was too young to remember the Miami Dolphins or the Denver Broncos win. I was a little guy. I don't remember that. But I do remember my first experience was the back-to-back, or not back-to-back, but the 2 losses in Pittsburgh, and it devastated me. I went my whole adolescent life, and it wasn't until I was 21 years old that I see 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. We didn't lose. In my mind, it's like, shit. You don't want to lose this game tomorrow because now you got Jalen Hurts is 0-2 in the Super Bowl.
Damn, Drew.
I want to solidify his legacy.
Oh, shit. Drew says if your team lost the NFC Championship game 55-23, shut the fuck up.
Tell him, Drew.
I ain't got to shut the fuck up now.
Damn.
That makes me want to talk even louder. We lost. I didn't think it was going to be a Philadelphia because Philadelphia had a better offensive line.
What, Momo? You're a Washington fan?
Yeah, I always have been.
Okay, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
He's a commander.
Sometimes when you,
by the way, Momo, be a channel member. I'm giving away something for any of my channel members that are Washington fans tomorrow. If if you're the only one, you win, bro.
You win.
Sometimes when you spray them, they come back.
That's all I'm saying.
Let me be fair. What I'm about to say. I'm just fair. As a Washington fan, I can take the heat we got beat. I just subscribe to a lot of channels. And believe it or not, and I say this to Mark before, I support more Cowboy and Philadelphia podcasts than I do Washington fan. I cannot stand Leo.
You should. You should not. Yeah, you should. That's the whole point.
No. Listen to me. What's the guy's name? Rio. I can't stand him. I can't stand it.
No comment on that one. He was always nice to me. I met him.
I like Rio.
No, his voice is nerve-wracking to me. I feel like I'm scratching the board. His voice is nerve-wracking.
Oh, shit.
Well, anyway, hats off to Carson Wentz. He made it to another Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz. Yeah. How about this? I'm sorry. I hate to... But wouldn't that be a nice story?
I thought it already game time.
What if it's a close game, right? And Mahomes is on the sideline, and
the Carson comes in, and
then they bury him into the turf at the Super Bowl.
Oh man, that would
Jalen Carter just buries him at the 50-yard line.
Look, game time. As soon as Carson trots his ass out there, they're going to be screaming on the sideline, BG, go get him! BG, go get him!
Oh my God.
You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, trust me. I've already thought it to already games.
I just thought about the possibility.
I can see the idea. I can see it bubbling up in your head. I knew exactly.
I know this off the subject. Or the Dallas Maverick fans went off in the game today. They was saying sell the team. All the crowd was yelling sell the team.
Damn. They went off.
Now they get over that.
Well, damn.
Jerry World over there, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
The NBA had to make LA a good team. I mean, they had to make LA a good team. But
you know the Cowboys got some of that heat for that too, right? You know, they're like, oh yeah, of course, Dallas. Yeah,
of course.
The football team does. That type of shit.
Yeah. I am a Cowboys fan and a Chicago Bulls fan, and both franchises fan bases are saying the same thing. The upper management does not know what they're doing. So I was a fan of these two teams in the 90s when everything was great and every team was winning, and now I'm going through this.
Right. So
crazy.
So now and so now you have to, this is in sickness and in health. In good times and bad. This is that those parts of the marriage right there. Yeah, you win.
Yeah, because the Bulls just traded away their best player for nothing. Sort of like what the Cowboys do. Yep.
Yeah, he's
for nothing. We traded Zach LaVine and we got rid of DeMar DeRozan, and we ain't get nothing from him.
Well, look, as an Eagles fan, this is what I think. I think that my window of opportunity is for the next 3 to 4 years. But I have to keep an eye on y'all because y'all are building that way. So is Washington. You know what I'm saying? New York has another year for me to figure out whether or not, to be able to get a good weather report on them. You know what I'm saying? But I think that you guys are in that process of having to go younger. I think I think the leaving of Jerry Jones is going to be sooner than later. You know,
you do know that
Sending all the old
his
people to
son
Washington.
is worse.
it
than
looks
he
like
is.
it looks like. Well, I'm just saying, like listening to, because again, if not for Mark, you know what I'm saying, I listen a little bit more to what other people not named Jerry Jones is saying and the way that they're talking. And
All right,
so
I'm about to-
even though Mark be making fun of him, Stephen Jones talks as if he's positioning himself to be an
All right,
even
guys,
bigger
I'm out.
decision maker
All
than
right,
what he
Momo.
was
All right.
before.
All right,
Ass
yeah,
out,
I gotta
man.
roll
Momo.
myself.
Yeah. All right, game time. I'll let you know on that one because Mom will be
Yeah,
coming
it's all right.
back
I'm
over.
gonna just don't worry
But
about
send,
it. I
send
know
me
you're busy.
send me a link. Send me a link.
All right.
Yeah, if I can jump
All right,
on,
I'll
I will.
talk to you.
Okay.
All right.
All right, game time. Later, big dog.
See you, man.
Later, guys.
Now I forgot what I was getting ready to say in here. Shit.
Edit up
About Jerry. Here's the thing about Jerry. Jerry, I want to say 2018 or 2019, I had gotten from a very reliable source that was actually very, very ill. And they started the secession plan back then. And the thing that I question in my mind is, now Jerry Jones basically is saying, I'm going to do this. You know, and you kind of hear him going around here. It's almost like a swan song of, you know, this. I bought this as a not just from my family, but, you know, for myself. You know, when you saw him on Landman and stuff, and you hear him in the press conferences, you know, being so defiant and talking about the job that he's done and so on. I hope that he's not ill or anything like that. But I look at the Will McClay thing as the thing that doesn't make sense unless there's more for him. Will McClay has been the director of scouting since 2011 or 12, somewhere in there. And it's just, you've been the director of scouting. Why would you, now that your kids are finishing school, would you continue to do that when you can be the architect for a multitude of teams out there? Unless,
but they're blocking him from talking to people.
No. They came up. He just got a new extension. It's like 5 years.
Oh.
Okay, and he's been part of the process of picking the coaches and the draft and everything else.
He's about to have a more prominent role soon.
Well, my thing is here's the question: if Jerry Jones leaves, and he's of course the GM and everything else, and you got Stephen Jones, who's the executive VP, and you know all the other word salads he is. Stephen Jones is not going to take on Jerry Jones's role along with his own. And Charlotte, I don't think, wants to be the runner of the Cowboys as far as what, you know, contracts and things like that.
I became a Cowboys fan in 88. I became a Bulls fan in 86 before the 90s. I just want to, I'm sorry, Mark.
You're a Bulls fan?
Go ahead.
But my thinking is
you're a Bulls fan?
Yeah. Unfortunately right now, but yeah.
I think Stephen becomes, you know, of course, the de facto owner along with his brother and sister. But I think then Will McClay elevates to being GM.
Okay. So, and then Stephen becomes president.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think your succession plan is going to be Stephen, Will McClay, and so with that being said, do you feel like that the shoddy hire is a Stephen Jones, Will McClay thing, or is that still is that part of? Do you think that's a part of the enacting of this succession plan?
I think, you know what, sometimes shit happens and then it ends up working out good for you. Okay, by accident. All right.
Right.
And this might be one of those cases. I think, honestly, what happened is the Cowboys started looking around and talking to people, and the bigger the person was, the less interested they were in the job. And I think that they started thinking, like, we could be going around and not having anybody. Because, you know, Kellen Moore is taking, it looks like, the New Orleans job. Are you saying that, you know, the Cowboys interviewed him? Are you saying that Cowboys didn't want him, or was it that Kellen Moore didn't want the Cowboys? You know, Dion. You know, you talk to Dion. Dion is like, yeah, I thought about it for a minute, but you know, you talk to Dion and figure, well, Dion will want to come, right? And all of a sudden, you start looking and saying that, you know, you had Ben Johnson basically, you know, months ago, basically say whatever organization he goes with, he's got to work hand in hand, and they got to admit past mistakes. You know, that was directed right at the Cowboys. And so for the Cowboys, not wanting to pay $15, $20 million to a coach, I think they looked at it and said, well, we can just elevate Brian Schottenheimer, and, you know, he has a system that Dak is already going to be familiar with, which is not the dumbest thing in the world. Now, people have killed him because they say, well, he's got no experience of being a head coach. And then in the same breath, they say, well, he's not the hot candidate. Well, Ben Johnson doesn't have any experience. Neither does Aaron Glenn. And they have a shorter coaching career than what Schottenheimer's had. So I don't know that he's any worse than what those guys are going to be. Because the NFL is littered with a lot of guys that were hot coordinators. I mean, I could look at Mike McDaniels in Miami. Everybody thought he was the genius and he was going to be the next Sean McVay. And you look at him and he's like a freaking idiot.
And everybody said Eric Bieniemy he needs a shot to run his own offense.
Yeah, and then he went to Washington and bombed out, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, yeah. So when I look at least with the coaching staff that they're putting together, at least on paper, this isn't just, well, we're just promoting the guy from within. He's a former player and stuff. They're not bringing in Jason Witten and saying you're the offensive coordinator. They seem to be actually getting some top-notch, well-respected coaches that maybe make a difference. And
which is exactly what I was pointing out to this year with all the new hires that came in, all the guys that outside of Kellen and Vic, you know, there was the coaches, the defensive line coach, that came from Seattle, you know. The DBs, all these different coaches that were coming in. So, and here's the thing too, you know, we still need to be a couple of years. I said this in the beginning. We need to be a couple of years minimum removed from the season in order to find out what the fuck happened last year. We still don't know. But I will say this though, is that we had to play both those coordinators again this year.
Oh, come on, Dick. Stop crying.
Because if you look at who the passing game coordinator for the Commanders is, it was Brian Johnson, the guy we had. You know what I'm saying? And then if you look at the same thing for the LA Rams, you know what I'm saying? It was our old one of our old coaches as well from last year. Yeah, the offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We still need to be a few years. We still got to get a few years removed from that whole ordeal. Winning this Super Bowl will help us to get to what happened that year faster. You see what I'm saying? But the point is that we still got to
in the Super Bowl already, bud.
Say that again.
You've already figured it out if you're already in the Super Bowl.
You know what, Chris? I'm with you, but I think it's still too. I don't know. Like, think about it, Chris. You know, 6 out of the last 7 games. When that happens with that team from last year, something like that happens. That means that there was something very catastrophic that happened that we just don't know about, and we need to be a couple of seasons away from it in order for us to get, and things need to happen. Winning the Super Bowl will help us get to those answers. Because when I listen to the media this week, they bring that shit up all the time too. They still bring up what happened last year. Do? Say that again?
And what would losing do?
That's my point, Mark. That's exactly my point. If we were to win, we don't have to deal. We don't have to deal with that coming from the regular media as it coming up. You see what I'm saying?
I got it. Okay.
Winning the Super Bowl would clear up so much stuff. You see what I'm saying? Will quiet a lot of noise. It'll definitely get Jalen the respect that he's always deserved. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you would have to call him a Super Bowl winning quarterback, regardless of whether or not Saquon and AJ and Devontae was on the team. He would still be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He would have done it in a reasonable amount of years. When you think in 4 or 5 years, you know, you would have to talk about him. When you talk about him, you can't talk about Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. You would have to separate him from that conversation because out of the 5 of them, he's the only one that would have a Super Bowl and have went to the Super Bowl a couple of times.
Not only that, Leo, a win tomorrow would get a huge gorilla off of Dracula's bag.
Yeah, thank you. Like, because you heard and that's the point that I was trying to get to Momo. Like, look, at the end of the day, you may hate him, you may not like him. And listen, I got to respect the dude because he proved me wrong. Because earlier this season, I said we got a 14-year-old driving a Ferrari right now. Going through you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And he proved me wrong, which I'm happy that happened. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got to respect his numbers. And if he has that number of, I went to the Super Bowl twice in 3 years and won one of them, you got to respect that. If he goes back again next year and wins again, then you got to talk about him like you talk about Sean McVay. And you know, like you can't look past him no more. That's, you know how much a Super Bowl win would serve the biggest plate of crow to all of the pundits who ever had anything wrong to say about Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Leo, get your Super Bowl, bud. Get your Super Bowl.
Say that again?
Get your Super Bowl.
Yeah, we just got to get it. That's the only thing. We just got to get it. So for me, like when I think about what a Super Bowl win would do for this franchise, shit. You know what I'm saying? And it would allow me to be insufferable to all y'all. Because it will be a we'll have more than one Super Bowl. Not as many as Dallas, but at least we'll have 2, goddammit.
Leo.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you a basketball question?
Sure.
How do you felt when they traded Luka away?
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand it. Like, why? What was the? I didn't know. I thought what Luka and Kyrie and them had out there. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to break that band up. You know, like is Luka? Is he on the downside of things? I thought he was young.
He's only 25.
Yeah, see, it don't make no sense to me. You know, I know he was up for like what, a Supermax contract. You know what I'm saying? But y'all had the money for it, right? Or was this or not? Them trading Luka away, you know, to me must say it must say something about.
I heard something about this is somebody's conditioning too.
Yeah, well, hey.
If that's the case, why does Philly still got Embiid?
It's like somebody selling you a Ferrari for half price. You be like, your first question is, what's wrong with it?
Makes you wonder what they're going to do with LeBron James and the Lakers anyway with that trade.
Oh,
I wonder if they're going to ship his ass back to Cleveland and play with his son.
they're going to want him to retire as a Laker so that, you know, he can go into the Hall of Fame as a Laker.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. So.
That's what they want.
So I didn't understand that either. All I had to say about that was like, oh, why not? 2 links between teams. I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, Mark Cuban must be partying with Jerry Jones.
Yeah, they want LeBron to go into the Hall of Fame as a Laker.
Cuban didn't even make that trade. He showed his shiz off.
I became a fan of these teams before I even knew about where the teams play and what state they're in. I was 5 and 6 years old.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't know. I became a Bulls fan because seeing Michael Jordan, who else? First time I saw Michael Jordan, yes, I'm a Bulls fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I became a Cowboys fan because the first game I ever watched, first ever football game, was Cowboys versus Redskins. And I was 6 years old, and I'm sitting there with my family, and everybody's yelling at the TV, everybody's talking trash back and forth. And I felt terrible at 6 years old because I wasn't having as much fun as they was, because I didn't have a favorite team. So I looked at the TV, I said, whoever loses this game, that's gonna be my favorite team. The Cowboys lost.
I became an Eagles fan because of my mom, not my father. My father was a Jets fan, but I became an Eagles fan because my mom. All right, bud, I love you. You two be safe. I became an Eagles fan because I remember my mother getting me a McDonald's had the sale on the sale on the glasses, and there was a Ron Jaworski glass. That was my first glass, and then I went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Raiders, but that was my first. So that's how, and that goes back to like you, Derek. I was only 6.
Yeah. I think I picked. I wanted my team to be whoever lost, because at 6 years old, I was thinking whoever loses this game is going to win the next one, and I want them to be my favorite team when they win. Oh, okay. That's what my thinking at 6 years old, and so I was this close from being a Commanders fan. That's crazy.
All right, so there are people who are saying that the LA did it for the future, and Dallas did it because he was becoming injury prone, and they didn't want to pay that super max to someone who was injury prone. Okay, there you go. There go the answers.
Yeah, Derek, you said you were
I
still
don't really pay
planning on
attention to
takeover.
basketball like that.
Hey,
my son does.
I'm not gonna go back and forth with somebody about my life. What does that look like, arguing with somebody about what happened in my life?
You lived it already.
And I was there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go back and forth
Thanks,
with somebody
Michael.
about
Yeah.
what happened in my life. I know my life, so
Yeah,
you
you
can call
already
it a
lived
lie
it.
if you want.
Yeah,
But I'm not
you
gonna
already
go back
lived
and forth
it.
with you.
Yeah,
That's
look,
crazy.
I just think that like right now, to be honest with you, competition wise, I'm excited about the NFC East for the next 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Cowboys and all their drama, and the same thing with the Commanders. Honestly, I think the Commanders had the potential to turn into the new Cleveland Browns. All this false hope, all this they got all this money, they got all this. They're going to get all these people. They're going to bring in all this stuff, and they got this quarterback. He is the one, and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying, in the meantime, I think the Cowboys are just looking. I think what the Cowboys are doing is the Cowboys are going to weed and seed. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're going and grow it from the inside out, like the olden days. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have guys that's going to be on your team for like 5-6 years that were drafted here. You know what I'm saying? So right now, though, it doesn't look like the Cowboys is a destination place. You know what I'm saying? if you're a coach, I guess. You know what I'm saying? At least a good coach. That's what the talk is. No shade, just how it looks from the outside in. But I believe that you guys are just going to get younger. You know what I'm saying? But I think
it's like the retirement. It's like you come a Cowboys coach. This is your last song. What do they do after they leave here? They retire.
Yeah, come TV analysts and shit for a minute. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. That's I'll be honest with you. Yup. Even quarterbacks become TV analysts and shit like that. Yup, that's true. Yup.
So it's like you're not gonna become a Cowboys coach until you're ready to retire.
Yup. And then even when you look at some of these quarterbacks, what do they become coaches? You know what I'm saying? Kellen Moore, Mike Kafka. You know what I'm saying? You got people like that's what they're doing now. We're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing this whole change.
Speaking of Kellen Moore, how do we know Kellen Moore's going to be better than Brian Schottenheimer?
Good question.
Because Kellen Moore
is what?
All right, let's look at it like this. Let's look at Kellen Moore's resume in comparison to Brian Schottenheimer's.
Okay, and what is it that he has that? I mean, are we going to say that they're going to the Super Bowl because of Kellen Moore?
Yeah, he's part of that. Yeah, he's a part of the reason.
All right. Okay. All right.
You can't.
I'm going to say
Come on,
that
man.
as far as experience goes, Kellen Moore's got a hell of a lot less. And if you want to say that Kellen Moore was part of Dak Prescott, you know, where he
Having
had
some record years, some good years. Yep. Yes,
but
yes,
so was
good.
Brian Schottenheimer.
Brian
And Brian Schottenheimer
Schottenheimer
also had years where Russell Wilson, 42 TDs, 4,200 yards, 1,900 rushing. And he's had some years where his offense has led the league in rushing.
Same thing with.
I could say, you know, Kellen Moore's got what, 6 years experience?
And he's led the league in scoring. His offenses have led the league in scoring. His offenses have led the league in rushing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
His offense even produced
with having everything with the Eagles.
Right, but it's at the end of the day, it's still I know, you know, but it's still his offense. It's still his offense. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't want to give him the credit, but
okay.
Damn. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. But
you know,
time will tell. We'll revisit this in a couple
Didn't
years.
Brian Schottenheimer win with Seattle in the Super Bowl?
No, he wasn't the offensive coordinator then. That was
okay. So then,
he was the offensive coordinator for the Jets when they had butt fumble and took them to 2 or 3 AFC championship games.
Yeah. So but then what happens when Kellen Moore wins the Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator
with a loaded roster?
Again, with his offense,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Here's what I'm saying.
Because there's never
Here's
the
what I'm saying
asterisk is never there. Let's take the asterisk off because that's what you keep doing. You keep putting the asterisk on it.
Okay.
Take the asterisk off and just call it for what it is.
What is it?
He'd be a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. It's his offense. His offense led the league in rushing. His offense produced a 2,000-yard running back.
Okay.
His offense led the league. You see what I'm saying? You know, like that's still Kellen Moore's offense. And mind you, that was something that y'all teased me about. You got Kellen Moore. Remember that? You know what I'm saying? Now he's in. I asked you what happens. And I remember doing this at the beginning of the season, asking you what happens if he wins.
We've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I got to go.
What happens if he?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Are you on a cellular phone? I can't hear you. There's some static.
Thank y'all for coming out.
Okay.
I will see you.
Has that PlayStation virus just hit or something? I think we're losing transmission here.
Hey, look, you don't want to listen. We're about to win our next. We're going to win the Super Bowl. So next week, are we doing this next week or Mark?
Yeah, we
win
next week.
You want to go live? You want to do something tomorrow, Mark? Come on, man.
No, I've got the game tomorrow, man. I mean, you know, we'll go through. We'll go through. If you want to do a post game, we can do a post game.
Let's do a post game, Mark.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Let's do a post game.
We'll do a post game.
All right. I'll hit you. All right. You know, when you go live, hit me up. Send me a link.
Mom.
You know
yes,
what I'm
ma'am.
We'll talk.
Yes.
My heart still hurts right now. It sucks right now. My mom.
I know it does, girl. It's gonna take time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My condolences, Asia. Yeah. Oh yeah. The thing is that you have to remain functional, mama. Okay? You gotta remain functional.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Life be lifing on us, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you still gotta remain functional. Okay? No matter what. Don't you stop. Don't you become non-functional.
On that one. All righty, good people.
All right, y'all. Y'all be easy.
I hope y'all enjoyed the Leo show. But, you know, as much as, you know, the Eagles are winning and everything else, just remember one thing.
Here, and so before we start this video, I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way.
I'm still your daddy.
Go.
Mark Holmes
That's
is my daddy.